Good morning, or should I say good afternoon, happy lunchtime. I am Kim Kesti here at Spellbinders, and we are so happy to be here for your Scrapbook and Cards Today lunch and learn session. So I'm not sure if it's exactly lunchtime where you are, but guys, we're going to skip lunch today. We are going straight to dessert. We are doing dessert first during today's lunch and learn. Again, I am here broadcasting from the Spellbinder studio in Phoenix, Arizona, where yes, it's very sunny. But I am not here by myself. In case you have any burning questions while we go through this next little bit, I have Miss Erin here, who is also known, I guess, as Spellbinder Squad.
That's right. And I hope your questions aren't burning. I hope they're sweet.
Oh, there you go. It's going to be a very sweet session. And of course, back behind the controls, we have Gavin. Hi, Gavin. Everybody. Yay. But today's class is really going to be technique heavy. I'm going to show you a bunch of different techniques using one particular die. And then we're going to kind of show some finished projects and hopefully just have fun. So sit back and relax. If you're just watching while you're eating lunch, that's perfectly fine. If you're kind of in it to win it and maybe craft along, we did have a short supply list we put on the site there at Scrapbook and Cards. But these are fun techniques that you can mix and match with any particular products you have at home. So that is fun. Okay, so let's take a look at the main star of the show today, and it is the ganache gâteau, which of course in French, I believe, is chocolate cake.
Very fancy.
I think ganache is actually chocolate or just more like the frosting, reference to the frosting. I'm not so sure.
I think you're right. I think ganache is like a kind of like a chocolatey paste.
Pasty frost. Okay, so someone who actually knows baking stuff can inform us. But it is a sweet little name, and it really is all about this large cake, which can be a shaped card if it's on its own, or has so many possibilities for just decorating this part of the cake, which I absolutely love. So take a look at the die. I do have mine kind of open already here, but you've got your main cake pieces, all multitude of many different ways to do the frosting. You've got the cute little macaron. See, again, I can't say that very well in French, but it is just a really fun die. Now, a couple of the cards I'm going to be having, I'm just going to show this briefly. I don't have it in packaging, apologies. But if you look at the Bougie Birthday Collection, that is part of this, and this is designed by Nina Betcher. I gotta say, Nina's gonna kill me. She's like, you don't know how to say my last name? Okay, sorry, Nina. She is one of our just amazing designers and came up with this whole idea of the Bougie Birthday. So we've got not only this cake, but many other products that match. So my suggestion is to head over to the Spellbinders website, spellbinderspaperarts.com, and just type in bougie at the top, B-O-U-G-I-E, and then you will find all the fun things. So there's fabulous words you're going to see in some of my cards later. There is all the little numbers. You can put the, sweet 16, happy 40th, happy 25th, whatever you want. But I just kind of want to show that. Mainly just to encourage you to check out all the fun things on the website.
Listen, we have an expert on ganache.
Oh, good.
Ganache is a frosting that then runs down the side of the cake.
Ah, okay.
Which makes sense, considering.
Okay, good. So it doesn't have to be chocolate. It can be any flavor. I love that. Okay, ganache. So fun. All right, so what we're going to basically be doing today is we're going to take this single cake die, and I'm going to show you 5 different ways to dress it up. Does that sound fun? I think that sounds so fun. So we are going to start with way number 1, and that is to take this panel, die cut it first, and then we're going to emboss it. So what I have here while I'm putting my couple little pieces of tape is a Simon Hurley embossing folder. Now I think I put on the supply list the cute little spring woven paper, spring woven, maybe you'll have to find the name of it, Erin.
Yes.
But he has a little bit newer embossing folder that has a really cool like basket weave to it. But I ended up doing this cake when I actually made the card took a little different direction, a little bit more classy and elegant. So I switched over to Simon Hurley's Geo Quilt folder, which is a little bit older than the basket weave, but fabulous. So this is a 3D embossing folder, again called Geo Quilt. But we're going to die cut first, because if we embossed first and then die cut, it probably would kind of smash all that pretty embossing down. So we're going to die cut the cake first.
Kim, you had it right. It is called the Woven 3D Embossing Folder.
Woven. Okay, good. So if you guys do want to grab that one, I would love if you also tried that folder, because it would be particularly, I think, great for like a spring cake, because it has that really cool woven basket weave there. All right, so we're going to use this die again in a minute. So here's our kind of cake-shaped die. The top has a little bit more of a dome. The bottom's a little bit flatter. That's how you can tell the difference. But we're just going to pop it right in this embossing folder.
Kim, what kind of paper are you using?
Oh, yeah, I should have talked about the paper. So you probably noticed this is a kind of a what we call pearl finish paper. So we sell this here at Spellbinders in silver and gold and rose gold. But we also have some new colors coming. So definitely want to check out the Spellbinders website and sign up for our email, like our newsletter. You're going to find out all the new arrivals. So we have some new colors coming, like
I just saw
next
these.
month. No, maybe not till May, I think.
I think they're June, actually. So they're coming in June.
But right now we have all the pretty metallics. And this particular pack is called Treasured Cardstock. And you're going to get a bunch of different metallic finishes. You're going to get this pearl. You're also going to get some mirror cardstock, some brush cardstock. But we sell this one separately too, I'm pretty sure. The brushed, called brushed gold.
Yes.
If you only want the brushed gold. But the treasured cardstock packs are really cool because they give you a nice variety.
But in general, these like metallic ones have such a cool effect when you do the 3D embossing.
Any kind of embossing on it to turn out so fabulous. So let me run through the platform before I speed through it. I almost went too fast. The 3D embossing sandwich is so easy. I just love to tell you guys because life could not be easier with this universal platform system. So you have your platform base, which is your A, and then I'm going to put the folder with the paper inside. I'm going to leave a little bit room here for the machine to kind of pinch the folder. And then the only other piece you need is the D adapter plate on top. So you've got A on the bottom, D on the top, and your little folder in the middle. And then it grabs it like that, and then it really cranks through quite easily. Do, 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 do. And then, of course, we have the amazing reveal. You can see it's pretty already.
It
it's like
pretty in the folder still.
Staticky. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So check it out, guys. How great is that? The Geo quilt is still just one of his popular ones. We have our little meetings here once in a while where we go, okay, so what should we reorder? Should we discontinue anything? You know, as it gets like past a year old, this is one we just keep reordering.
Always.
So good. Okay, so you can see already how this is going to make a fabulous card. I mean, you hardly need anything else, just a few little touches. So let me bring in the finished card. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So this is how this works. I'm going to show you the main technique for the cake base and then bring in the finished card. So all I did here is I took two other metallics from that treasured cardstock pack. So this will be the gold treasured cardstock. And just cut one little layer of frosting. I didn't even do the drips because I really didn't want to cover up all of my cake. I didn't use the drips very much. But just adding that, and then again referring to those fun little bougie birthday numbers. Cut out a 50th there. How cute is that? And then a little sub-sentiment says, to the happy couple. That is glimmered. So again, super sweet. And of course you could switch this up for any anniversary or just switch the sentiment and it would be perfect for any kind of occasion, really, birthday, anything. These flowers you'll see pop up here and there, and I'll bring them in a little bit later. But they are almost always from our Vivid Blooms flowers. So I'm in love with that flower set lately. Almost every card I make ends up having Vivid Blooms on top. Fun, fun, fun. All right, card number 1. And I'll bring these all back in toward the end so we can get one more look at them. But let's see, what technique should we do next? Let's do a little Inky. So first of all, here's my very well beloved stamp wheel from Altenew, and it is very inky. But we're going to bring in some Hero Arts ink. So this is really fun. This has got a fun technique. Oops, Deb, you know what? I'm going to have to grab a piece of white cardstock from you. Do I have any spares here? Don't you have one right there? Just on your desk? I've got my helper Deb back here to give me some. Oh, just an A2 panel. All right, Deb will grab a piece of white cardstock for me. I thought I had all my buckets ready, but it's always something. Good old white cardstock foils you. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab this kind of ombre reactive ink. Let's take a look at this Hero Arts ink. It's so cool. So first of all, the reactive part of it means it's going to react with water. But this has also got the 3 different shades of ink on it, which I think is really fun. So I'm going to try to get a nice little watercolory background with all these colors of ink, so they all show up super pretty. All right, plain white cardstock. And I'm going to use this because my cake is wider than my 3 strips right here. I'm going to put my 3 strips twice on my nonstick surface here. And then we'll see what kind of fun inky stuff we can get along with. So I'm going horizontal here. I apologize, my surface is a little bit pink here, but I'm hoping you guys can see this just fine. So you see how it's got the 3 strips of color, and then I'm just coming back and doing the same 3 strips right above. And don't worry, this is all going to be all blended and kind of mooshed together because we're going to spritz it with water. So I can come back. I'm trying not to overlap tons, but you can see right here where they're kind of meeting. It's okay if the blue and green kind of meets together a little bit. And you guys can absolutely try this on, you know, any kind of non-stick surface you have. So now I'm going to bring in some water. So my Spellbinders mister. Move my ink pad here. So we talked about water reactive. Here you're going to kind of see it kind of get all fun and foamy. And then I am also going to spritz my panel just a little bit. So again, this is our Mighty Mister, just plain water, nothing special, nothing fancy in there. I'm going to put down my kind of watery cardstock. I did not spritz both sides, just the one side of the cardstock. And then we're going to see if this got all nice and mushy. Oh yeah. Fun, fun, right? Got one little hair from the cardstock thing right there. Oh, might be embedded on there. That's okay. When we come in and die cut our cake, then that's going to, you know, you can kind of position your cake wherever you want.
Kim,
But super
Sherry
cool.
says your stamp mat isn't over inky. It's just much loved.
It's well loved. That is right. That is right. All right, I'm going to just quickly warm this just a little bit. I'm not even sure I'll actually cut this one out, but I'll kind of lay it out. I'll get it flat enough to lay out. And I wanted to do one that could be a little bit more boyish, not so girly. Like these cakes easily could go girly, girly, girly all day, all long. But Erin and I were actually brainstorming when we were kind of concepting this class. And we're like, we should have something that's a little, you know, more boyish. So your panel here, again, you would take your same exact die cut. And you can kind of move it around. I do have that one little hair there, but that's okay. Probably would get covered up. But see how you have just enough inked background just to cut your little cake. That's why I wasn't too worried about going all the way to the top and bottom. But you would just die cut this little guy. And then you guys got to wait for it because this is a die set that some of you got if you participated in the Let's Stamp Together like from last year. But this is called Jump for Joy, and it is releasing quite soon on our website. This is a little teaser. My apologies, you guys. I don't mean to show you everything that you can't get quite yet, but this is one we just thought, you know what? This background just screamed to have a little frog on the cake. So again, this is called Frog Prints, and this is coming out quite soon. In fact, your local stores will probably have it before we even have it on our website. So check your local stores or tell them, hey, give me a buzz when this Frog Prints comes in because it's so cute. But I think a lot of you might have it if you've belonged to Let's Stamp Together.
And, you know, to be honest, we just really love him.
We just love him. We just want to use him all the
He's
time.
He's hopping into a lot of projects around here lately.
Oh, I get it. He's hopping. So because he's hopping, I want to give you one little tip before I bring in my reveal. So these are the words from Bougie Birthday, and this says happy to, and of course there was happy to you and a lot of other sentiments involved. But again, kudos to Erin because she's like, what if you took this happy and changed it to hoppy? That's why I cut out the 2 right here. So let me just walk you through how I'm going to do that because it is very clever.
I mean, we couldn't make a frog card without a frog pun. Like,
With
that's
that,
impossible.
it's got to have some kind of pun. Exactly. So my O, I'm just going to cut off of the 2. So you guys see my O right here. Maybe I'll get this plain white cardstock. I want you guys to be able to see it good. And I'll do the same thing with the glitter. But I started out with the cardstock background. This is glitter foam that I cut it out of. See, it's kind of a little wobbly and stretchy. So I wanted to back it with cardstock. So I'll walk you through the cardstock portion. So now we've got my O, which I just clipped from the 2. And now I want to separate the happy. So I'm going to cut the happy a little bit closer to the A. So I can, you know, join those 2 little pieces. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so perfect. And then the P, I want to cut this whole little leg of the A off. So my P is just going to end up very straight. So did you guys see that? And again, it'll make more sense if you have the actual word die, but just cut the whole little extra swoop off of that left side of the P. And then now we can just come in with a little bit of glue. Oh, I think I might need my other glue bottle, Deb. Squeeze a little bit out over here. Got it a little bit off camera here, but I'll just dip in my glue. So just dipped in a little bit of glue. Then I can just join up the O to the H. See? So easy. And then I'll put a little bit of glue on the end of the O. That little leg will then attach to my P. So I have now changed happy to hoppy. And then I would just repeat the same thing with glitter and just glue the glitter on top of this guy. We'll let it dry for just a second. And then we have just transformed. So we've got our card base. We'll pretend we cut it. Got our frog die and our hoppy. And we're going to skip to the finished project. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my gosh. So you can see that the cake, you just let it go. Just all wibble wobbly however you want. We've got it here, you know, so this one looks like it might even be a little bit more kind of less distinct or more blurry than this guy. But everyone's going to come out different. And then our hoppy at the top, you can see we've got a couple of those little sticks back there, which you can barely see, but then the frog, like he's too cute. He's got his macaroons and some of the little frosting on the front. And I did put a little bit of gold splatter. Can you guys see that? Just to make it, you know, just one more little depth of dimension. And then we've got some of that same sentiment just tucked right in there too. So it says happy birthday wishes.
And the beautiful thing about that glitter foam is you cannot see the seams.
No, once you add the foam on top, you absolutely cannot see that you transformed this. I mean, somebody who would be crafting would be like, wait, where did the hoppy word come from? I didn't get hoppy in my set. No, right? You didn't, but you can make your own.
This would be great for Easter too.
That would be cute. Cards, so cute. All right, so Frog Prince Adorable. Like I said, I'll bring him back at the very end. Meanwhile, I think I'll pass this to Deb and see if she can give it a little quick cleaning, my ink thing. I'm going to need that one more time.
Tracy says we could use this frog and put him running away from the birds from this weekend.
That's right. We had so many friends just tuning in with Scrapbook and Cards this weekend. I feel lucky to be back with you so soon. That's so fun. All right, so we couldn't really talk about doing cakes without thinking about Betterpress and creating this really fun option with Betterpress. So what I have here is one of our Paul Antonio plates. So he's a calligrapher from the UK, does beautiful work. And we've translated some of his beautiful calligraphy into Betterpress plates. So gotta love Betterpress. Comes out so beautiful and elegant, and it is just perfect for these bougie cakes. So if you've never tried Betterpress, very easy. This is a special cotton paper, so it's nice and thick and yummy. And that we're gonna tape that onto the clear piece. Or the platen. Yeah, I'll check my shims too underneath. It's a little bit of Best Ever Craft tape, and you can see that that grid matches up with the grid here, so I know just exactly where I'm placing my plate. This is a magnetic platform, and underneath it's got a couple of shims. It just has one shim, which actually is just what I want. It does come with 3 shims, so if you want deeper impressions for certain particular plates, you can add more shims and make the pressure a little higher. But because Paul's plates are so dainty and they've got a lot of really fine lines, I like to do it with only 1 shim. So I'm just kind of centering that plate on top. It's kind of hard to read. It says, on your special day. I just stop and think, no, on your wedding day. On your wedding day, which is the name of the plate also, on your wedding day, if you're going to check it out. And then I've got a couple different inks. I just wanted 2 different shades of blue to kind of do a little bit lighter blue at the top and then go down to my darker blue. So I'm going to start with Coastal. And then you just ink up the plate. I'm going to do about halfway. And then I'll kind of blend the inks together. This doesn't show a lot of difference between the two colors, but I think it's just enough to make it fun and subtle. And don't worry, you will get ink on your platform, and that's normal. If you have a newer one like I do, I tell people take a picture because it'll never look that clean again.
Never ever.
But that's okay, it's a tool and it should get kind of inky. Okay, so there's my darker Cosmic Sky. And I might just go back in with Coastal and just make sure it's blended, because that one's a little darker. All right. And now when I flip my platform over, it's got a little magnetic top where it's keeping my paper away from my plate, if you can kind of see that right there. So I don't have any inky smudges or anything funky going on until I bring it to my Platinum 6. And then you just easily roll it through. And get a really sweet impression. I'm reaching over and turning my glimmer on because I'm going to glimmer next. One thing that's really fantastic about the Betterpress is you can also take the same exact plate, which I won't do today, but you can take that same plate and bring it to your glimmer machine and do this with foil. But look at that sentiment. Maybe we'll come in a little closer, Gavin. It's so pretty and it's pressed so beautifully. And if we had touch-o-vision, you could come in here and run your finger across and you would feel that beautiful debossed finish. But
oh, you can kind of see it, actually.
yeah, I think you can kind of see it a little bit if we do a little tippy. But it's very elegant, very beautiful. And again, just a subtle color variation between that lighter blue and darker. You could definitely do a more dramatic variation with, you know, maybe a light pink and a dark pink or whatever. But I thought that was really fun. And then, of course, this guy would come off. Bring back our plate die, which, yes, I already have a big pile. Let's bring our cake die again. Oh, that tape really stuck on there.
What's nice about this thing, with this kind of technique, where you're die cutting after you've Betterpressed,
Yes.
you don't have to be straight.
It doesn't have to be perfectly centered. Exactly. That was going to be my next little tip. So now you can kind of center this. I did leave a little bit room at the top for a little bit of frosting on this cake. So I'm going to justify my die just a little bit lower. And then we might as well just cut this one real quick, so you can kind of get the full effect. Our cutting plates. And one thing I do recommend, which is kind of why I wanted to cut it also, is that when you are die cutting Betterpress, I know we don't always have the luxury of clean plates, but I try to preserve at least one of my cutting plates for a top plate. The bottom doesn't matter so much, but when I am cutting Betterpress, because the paper is so soft and cottony, I like to have a clean plate on top when I die cut my Betterpress images. Just kind of takes away that factor of having an impression from one of your die cuts on there. That would not be very fun. All right, let me just pop that little cutie out. And again, for this finished card, I didn't do a whole lot of really dramatic effects, but let's take a look. So what I did is I kind of lightly inked a background, which is very sweet. Again, added a few of those Vivid Expressions flowers, just sprinkled around, and a little bit of the frosting at the top. I did die cut the frosting. Let me bring that in. This little frosting piece from the die, I did die cut it out of our mint green paper, and then I just followed that little, which I think is why we made it that way. We'd have to ask Nina, this little perforation here, and trimmed it away, so I just had the cake top there instead of the drips on this one, because again, my drips probably would have covered my sentiment. So yeah, that's how I created just the little mint green top. Otherwise, very sweet, very pretty, very elegant. Be absolutely fantastic for a wedding card. And Paul has quite a few other sentiments that are very sweet too. Birthday ones, all kinds of ones that I think you could explore and see which ones fit on the ganache gâteau cake.
This most recent collection had a lot of kind of love themed ones. I think that was really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Kind of almost a little bit Valentine-ish, but super fun. All right. All right. So let's bring in our glimmer machine. Although I'm not going to glimmer a betterpress plate. We could do that. Instead, I have a fun little plate.
That is a betterpress.
Oh, it is a betterpress plate. I was just thinking, I'm like, wait a second, Kim, it is a betterpress plate. Oh, good. So this is perfect. So I can show how we can glimmer betterpress plates. I was thinking it was a glimmer. We have in the past had a glimmer plate that was sort of confetti-ish like this, but good rescue there. Erin, tell me the name of this plate again. I think you already told me once.
Confetti.
Confetti plate. Okay, so confetti betterpress plate. So what you do is you put your plate down and you push your timer button. That's going to warm up this plate. And I am going to glimmer on, again, kind of one of our minty green papers right here. I think that is mint green. Did we decide this was mint green? I don't have my color swatch. Still learning all of our new color wheel cardstock. But I am using a pastel foil. So this is from our pastel pack. Super, super fun. And I think it's going to give us a great tone on tone.
We've got a question, Kim.
Cut a little paste. Sure.
What did you use in the center of the flowers on the wedding?
On the wedding cake?
day plate?
Okay, let me bring that back in real quick. By the way, this is probably a good opportunity since this is still heating up to bring in my Vivid Blooms dies. Oh my gosh. So this is probably 2 sets, guys. I have to admit, it's probably 2 sets. But these little flowers have a little tiny center, which is right here. Can you guys see that die? So you've got the little flowers, and then I put a little center out of blue, and then on top of that, I put a little blue gem. So I think this is our sapphire gem. So it's kind of a blue on blue, but it gives a sweet little touch.
Yeah, it's nice.
So the mint green flower, navy blue, little die cut center, and then a gem. Yeah, super cute. And simple. I mean, those are all the same little flower.
Everyone's like, that's so many dies.
I know, look at this. Is this just precious?
I think
love
there
it
was
so
probably
much.
several there.
Maybe it's 3 sets. We've demoed this at some different retailer shows for our stores. Love our local stores, by the way. Definitely check them out first. Make sure you can pick up your product from them. Support your local retailer. But we do some different shows and events for them, and I think this is a result of that. We're demoing the heck out of that guy. All right. Oh, yeah, let's look at this. Thank you, Deb. She brought my swatches. So this is Seaside, the cardstock. I couldn't remember if it was mint or Seaside. So this is Seaside from our Color Wheel cardstock. Look at that yummy swatch. So lovely. Okay, so our betterpress plate is ready. I put my foil, what we call like pretty side down, because the foil always wants to kiss the pattern on the plate. And then I'm putting my cardstock on top. And my 2 glimmer shims. This kind of more opaque one is the heat resistant one. Although honestly, it doesn't really matter if you switch them. Don't freak out if you switch them accidentally. And then I'm going to move this to the side and bring my die cutting machine back in. And we'll just slide this glimmer right through. So fun that we can glimmer our betterpress plates. Just gives a lot more usability out of them. Kind of a 2-for-1 product. It's really what this whole Lunch and Learn is all about. Stretching your supplies. I know Megan Andrews is so good at that. Okay, switch it over and we have our big peel and reveal. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, dun, dun. The funnest part. Yeah. Ooh, I'm so glad I have a lovely audience here. Ooh, ah. So just super cute, sweet. We thought once we got this far that this would be so precious for a baby card. So we took this and again brought the cake die back in. I don't think I'll spend time die cutting it this time because you guys are kind of getting the drift here. And again, you can kind of do it where you have more dots. You could switch it around maybe this way because then they look like they're sprinkling down or something. So you just die cut that little guy out. And if you added some of our new Little Smiles characters, you might have something like this. Oh, so cute.
That's beautiful.
So for this frosting, I took that same frosting die on top, but I cut it out of cardstock and then also cut it out of vellum. Do you guys see that where it's got a second layer? So it's got that little softness of the vellum. Yes, good job, Gavin. And I even offset it a tiny bit so you can kind of see that vellum's on top. So this is waterfall cardstock underneath, which of course goes beautifully with the seaside. And then I put the little character on top. So he's making a very sweet special delivery. This could be baby birthday, it could be baby shower, anything kind of in that kind of Little Smiles range. So this collection is from our Little Smiles. So again, if you kind of go to our website and put Little Smiles in the search bar, you'll come up with all the cute products. And so
Adorable.
cute, right? Just
My
makes
collection
a smile.
is so cute. I love a little animal, so.
And most of these cards, I guess I should chat about that for 1 second real quick. I think all the cards except this wedding day one are 5x7 cards. So that's a good sized cake. And if you look online at the Bougie Birthday, you'll see plenty of cakes that are actually made just as a shaped card with only the cake. But this is the only one that I did A2. Again, but doesn't really have any toppings. Once you add the toppings, you're pretty much into a 5x7 card, which I absolutely love.
You could cut that down
So
too if you
cute.
wanted to. Make it a half-size cake.
Yes,
Just
for
kind
sure.
of
You could
bring
shorten the
your-
cake. Absolutely. You can shorten the cake. You could do layers. There's so many different fun things. Really, today I just concentrated on how I'm going to change the look of the actual base. So, I think I kind of saved the best and maybe the messiest for last. Let's see what we've got
This
here.
one's so good. I gotta tell you,
This one is so fun.
This is your lunch and learn, but this was my afternoon and learn yesterday. Kim literally yelled across the office, "Here, you want to see something cool?"
Okay, so if you've been crafting for a while, you probably kind of know this one. But it's always fun to try something. Either reinvent an old technique or just bring in something kind of new if you have never tried it. So what I have here is I have regular, old, original, Nicole called it old man smelling shaving cream. But you want a shaving cream that really doesn't have a lot of moisturizers or conditioners or anything in it. Just basically a cheap shaving cream. So I've got that, and then what I've got here is, which is why my thing is so pink from yesterday. This will fade a little bit. I have the Hero Arts liquid watercolor. I love, especially in this neon color. So this is a neon bright pink. And they have a lot of great neon colors in their kind of repertoire. So definitely check out the Hero Arts website this time and check out the watercolors. But you want to see what we're going to do? And then I have a scraper, which you could use a bone folder. I happen to have this Simon Hurley scraper, which is fabulous. But let's see what we're going to do with it. You know, the only other thing I need here, Deb, I could have swore I had one in my bin. Oh, yeah, I do. Some kind of a bone folder or scraper or tool. You could even use like a skewer or chopstick for this to kind of do the marbly effect, which you will see in a minute. All right, shaky shake.
I think yesterday you used
pretty
your
fun.
finger, Kim.
I ended up using my finger? Probably.
I think so.
Okay, I'm going to get a baby wipe in case I do use my finger.
Cynthia says, no mint or your cards will have a strong mint scent. But
Oh,
I have to
yeah,
tell
exactly.
ya, I think mint might be better than what this smells like.
All right, so I am using my finger to kind of smooth the shaving cream. You want it pretty thick, so don't make it too thin or anything, but maybe trying to fill in some gaps. All right, let's get rid of this. I actually have a regular towel down here too. Get my hands with my cloth towel. This is where we need one of the fabulous like Lawn Fawn chamois or something. Okay, then just gently shake up my neon watercolor. And this is where I probably used a little bit too much yesterday. But you're just going to do some drops. Well, I guess I have to eyedropper it. That would help. I'm going to do some drops. I guess I'll do like 9 drops. Again, you don't have to put too much, but enough to sort of get the idea. And then I'm going to start by using this because you can do this kind of fun pattern where it's definitely a frosting-ish pattern. And then what you're going to end up doing is dipping in your white cardstock into this. But I found out that this, when I pulled my first print, I guess that's what we're talking about, when you dip it in and pull it, probably was a little bit too stark because the neon color is super, super bright. So I just ended up swirling it some more, and I think you're right, Erin. I think I did just end up kind of doing it with my finger. So what we're going for here is a kind of a more marbly look. Oh yeah, you can even see that starting to come to life already.
Also, it's just really fun to finger paint.
To finger paint, yes. And again, you don't have to have any special technique, but you don't want to mix it too much. You want to leave it so it's marbly enough. So, all right, so I'm not wetting this or anything. I'm just dipping in. You can kind of press it a little bit. And the fun thing is you can actually do a couple prints with the same amount of ink. And I wonder if yesterday our second print might have even been prettier than the first. But so we pull our fun panel here.
We're getting
even Gavin's like, ooh, and then this is where you take your scraper because it obviously has lots of cream still on it, shaving cream, and then you just scrape away. You guys, for reals, like how did that go from that to that? I didn't even like try that hard. I think if you try harder, it comes out worse. I think it's when you just do your just simple. Let me grab a tissue here.
Somebody said this is big kid playtime, and I could not agree more because this is like kind of a kid crafting technique.
It kind of is, yeah. And if you had kid-safe inks, which Hero Arts does have some, by the way, I absolutely would not feel scared at all to have my kids play with this, but so fun, right? Maybe we'll come in a little closer, Gavin. I think that this might even be prettier than my original one.
It is. It turned out so good.
So what you would do is you bring in your cake die again. Where did I put my cake die? Oh, I guess on my last card. I've got it buried somewhere. But I do have enough here on my panel to cut out the frosting and the cake die, which is what I did for my finished card. But look at that marbling. So fun.
So pretty. The neon is so good.
The neon, I think, is part of the trick that really makes it vivid.
Rediscovered these neon watercolors from Hero Arts, and they're phenomenal.
So awesome.
I'm such a fan.
So then I brought in a couple of products from one of our new collections. You guys have probably seen it a lot. In fact, you saw it on the Scrapbook and Cards blog last week. It is called Gorgeous You. So it includes not only this fun embossing folder, but a lot of other fun dies. I even have this betterpress plate with all these cute little kind of amazing and flawless and cute betterpress sentiments that are part of that collection. But again, check out the website, Gorgeous You. You are going to want to see all the fun products. And my little marbly cake turned into this beauty of a card.
So fun.
So fun. So you can see the extra little frosting here. But otherwise, I didn't do anything else to the cake. Just do those two die cuts.
Someone said this would make a great chocolate raspberry cake. And we've got a great new pale brown cardstock that would be phenomenal for this.
Yes, absolutely. So cute. So then some of the other Gorgeous You elements are this little bow here. This is, again, is that sentiment. And then I did combine it again with the vivid blooms. But I love that little embossing in the back too. I think that adds just a sweet little texture, especially the white on white. So, oh my gosh, so much fun, you guys. All right, let's bring all 5 of our cakes in because, you know, we got to have one last little gander. I would love you guys to let me know which was your favorite, or maybe which was like a newer technique you hadn't really checked out before. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I think I'm knowing what the favorite's going to be.
Just from the comments?
Just from the comments.
Is it the shaving
Just
cream?
From the comments. Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there's our fun little screenshot. So guys, I hadn't taken pictures of these before. I do have our photographer here today. We have an awesome photographer named Jen who comes in and takes my extra special shots. So I'm going to throw these under the camera so then you guys can have a little bit better shots of them. And I'll make sure I'll hook up with Megan and decide where we want to post those. But I think they would be fun for you to try. So definitely share your favorite technique. Tell me if you guys try one. Tag me, of course, at Team Spellbinders is always a great place to connect with us on social media. Follow us on Instagram, of course, Facebook, and all the fun places. So thank you so much for hosting me for today's Lunch and Learn. Thank you to Erin for commenting and passing those questions on to me. And of course, thanks to Gavin. Awesome, as always. Again, hope you enjoy these Lunch and Learns. I know this is something new for 2025 that Scrapbook and Cards has started, and I love them. I think it's fun just to kick back, learn something new. Everyone's got something different to bring to the lunch table, so we love that. In the meantime, happy crafting, and we will see you again soon.